ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some wrestling news. They tell me things and I will too. So, let's get around to it here. So, first thing to talk about is there's more to CM Punk's AEW release that is yet to come out. So, there's apparently some more stuff that is yet to come out about his release. So, following CM Punk's physical altercation with Jack Perry before the main card of last Sunday's All-In pay-per-view event, there was an internal investigation into it, which ultimately led to AEW announcing that Punk is no longer with the company, as the promotion terminated his contract. Punk also reportedly had a heated confrontation with Tony Khan after the situation and threatened to quit the promotion in the moment after the incident. While speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez talked about the situation. Meltzer did note that there's more to Punk's AEW release than what has been reported, but it's nothing as significant as what has already been known. He said, "Did it before the show as opposed waiting till Monday, which you could have done, but I guess he just felt he needed to get it out as soon as possible. But they had video surveillance footage. They already interviewed all the eyewitnesses. They had an outside investigation. They interviewed a lot of the wrestlers who were not eyewitnesses, just about the basic situation, what was going on there. And that was when they had the lawyers recommend he be gone. Whatever the disciplinary committee is, and I don't know who recommended that he be gone. And Tony Khan made the decision for him to be gone. I know people who were interviewed that were not there, and it was about the background, just the history and the things like that, along with they were asked how things had changed over the last year and what they thought the solution to problems would be. A lot of questions aren't related to the actual incident, but to all the incidents, everything that happened over the past year. And he got fired over what happened Sunday. Meltzer said he got basically fired over what happened Sunday, but the lawyers and everybody else talked about a lot more than Sunday. They talked about everything, the stuff that's come out, a lot of stuff that hasn't come out. I mean, should have been sooner with the benefit of hindsight. Of course, it should have been a year ago. But hindsight is always whatever. When he came back, it wasn't going to work. It didn't work. It was a disaster. Let's be serious. It was a disaster. So that's all from that. So I don't know. I mean, thinking more has happened behind closed doors than what's been released. There might be more stuff that hasn't come out yet. But I don't know what else you can say, though, to be honest. So, I think this is kind of what set Punk's overall frustrations led to the thing with Jack Perry. So, a sit-down meeting between the Elite and CM Punk was scheduled to take place last week ahead of AEW All-In, but it was called off the last minute by the Elite. The summit was intended to bury the hatchet, and the cancellation of it appears to have added to Punk's overall frustrations, per the House of Wrestling. And I think it's kind of led to the situation. I think Jack Perry's good friends with the Elite, so people are going to speculate, oh, the Elite sent Jack Perry out there to say that, get Punk riled up, get him fired. But yeah, I don't think the Elite pushed Jack Perry or influenced him to make the comments. I really don't. I mean, maybe they did, but Punk kind of just fell for it. It could have been a setup, but I don't think it was. It was just Jack Perry making a comment after just making a stupid comment, CM Punk, I guess, put his hands on him first. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Elite did send Jack Perry out there to do that and basically to get CM Punk fired. I mean, Jack Perry I guess did start the fight, but CM Punk being another backstage incident, though. It seems to me they just wanted to get rid of Punk. It seems like he was targeted, and we're only going off odd media coverage. But they painted Punk out to be a cancer rather than addressing everyone involved. Which Jack Perry, he should get a big fine, including his suspension he has. But if he does do this one more time, if he gets another backstage brawl, you've done 2 suspensions for Punk. If Jack Perry gets another one, he should get fired too. I think should be the new precedent set up. But Punk is responsible for his own actions as well. I don't think Jungle Boy thought he was going to get touched, but the flip side, if you're going to talk shit, be prepared to get handled. I think both sides were wrong. This could have easily been avoided had Jack Perry not done what he did at All In. But Jungle Boy is the Elite's friend, so it's possible they set up the whole confrontation. AEW went from turning into WCW to being it within 24 hours. But yeah, I think CM Punk wanted to bury the hatchet with the Elite, but it turns out the Elite never wanted to, and they set up the thing and they canceled the worst idea. Jeez, the EVPs being wrestlers is such an idiotic idea. Gosh, the Elite will bury this company. Oh, and they created the company. It doesn't have that they. It doesn't mean that they couldn't eventually help run it into the ground. And they'll be the ones to freaking bury it. Cody was smart to leave this stupid company. I think these dudes really set up CM Punk. Wouldn't surprise me though. So Tony Khan, he addressed CM Punk's firing at the start of AEW Collision. You want to see Vince McMahon? I don't like Vince McMahon. But you want to see Vince McMahon or Triple H do this. Like, why does he have to explain why he fired him? He basically said he endangered innocent people backstage, and he had to terminate his contract. Quote, "Never have I ever felt that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show." He feared for his life. It kind of seems like a Karen-like response, to be honest. I mean, maybe he did endanger people backstage, because, I don't know, I wasn't backstage. Maybe he actually did, and Tony Khan wasn't exaggerating. So Dave Meltzer then reported this after what he said, the first thing I talked about. He said, CM Punk lunging at Tony Khan was more serious than originally reported. This dude is fired, and Dave Meltzer still can't stop talking about him. How convenient Dave is now adding more to his story. I almost feel it's almost like he's hearing. It's almost like he's trying to bail out Tony for the quote "fearing for my safety" comment. If I was worried for my safety, then there's no way I'd have let CM Punk go out and wrestle minutes after he put my life in danger. He's getting ready for the legal battle with those words. Because if you're worried for your safety, why would you send him out there to wrestle him? I think it's just such a freaking Karen-like response. Oh, it scares my life. It's a freaking wrestling event backstage. What's CM Punk gonna do? Hurt you? Yes, this happened. He was allowed to walk out and perform for them sounds legit. I don't think it's that serious. It was just more, but they don't know what's more. Dave Meltzer's such a freaking elite dick sucker. God. So AEW held a talent meeting before Collision about CM Punk's release. Before Tony Khan went out there and got booed out of the building. It was basically a meeting, and everybody was told what happened. This was before Collision last night, and Tony also went out before the crowd and told them. And the interesting thing is, if you watch the Dynamite show on Wednesday, if you watch the TV version, I did not hear any chance for CM Punk. People who were there said there were a couple that started that got booed down on Wednesday. Of course, Brian Alvarez and the Elite stand Brian Alvarez. and Elite Stan Dave Meltzer. So AEW is expecting a response from CM Punk over the release. I'm sure his reply will be extra spicy over his release of AEW. But obviously he was released, and Sports Illustrated reports that Punk was not dismissed solely because of his backstage altercation with Perry, but rather than Khan felt physically threatened by Punk and Ollie. Khan mentioned he feared for his safety while addressing the collision crowd, and the report added, unlike prior occasions, Khan was not able to effectively communicate or reason with Punk, and eyewitnesses accounts supporting Khan's claim further ended any chance that Punk would return to AEW, end quote. But the report added, sources close to both sides expect a response from Punk which holds the potential to be explosive. We're going to get a CM Punk 2.0 pop bomb. So it's going to be interesting whenever this response from CM Punk comes out, if it does indeed happen. But what's next for CM Punk? WWE maybe? I don't know. But he can retire. I mean, he's made his money. He can get back to comic books again. He enjoyed that. I don't think he's going to come back to WWE. I don't think WWE will want him back. So, the last report here, there was an incident between CM Punk and Tony Khan that happened, quote, between closed doors. Yeah, we know. We've known this for over a week now. This is not really a report. I'm not going to go into the article. But anyways, yeah. That's all I'll say, so leave a like and comment, subscribe, until next time I like. Peace.